What's going on, America? With the messenger at $39 this evening. Please excuse the phone. It's not working right, but I thought I would make a video anyway. I just read some comments and emails throughout the day, and I have hundreds of them. And they're from various people across the country, whether they're rich, poor, and it's gotten to a point where we don't know what we're doing. Whether it's the executive level, whether it's the lower level, whatever level that you want to use, it's a level. So, what I wanted to say to the American people this evening, what are you going to do? There's talk of we're sending our kids to school. There's talk of we're going to not send them to school. There's talk of we're going to revoke EPA regulations, and Trump is already in full swing with this. By the end of next week, we're going to possibly lose over 145,000 innocent American lives. We have a fascist gangster for a president who doesn't give a shit. And when I say doesn't give a shit, this guy's going golfing while we're losing our family members. You already know this. But what's troubling a lot of members of the conscious community, and members of the conscious community are visionaries, leaders, thinkers, philosophers, people of action, economics, the clinical and medical field, people on the front lines that are going out there every day to try to bring back information to the people and are being silenced as we speak. At one point during this whole situation, if you wanted to access concerned medical professionals, they were at your disposal all over YouTube. If you wanted to hear from the families and victims of this shit, they were right there. Where are they now? All of a sudden, the YouTube algorithms are not allowing certain information into the American people's minds, hearts, souls, and whatever you want to consider the conscious eye. No, it's not the order of the day. The order of the day down at Fox is to completely obliterate your conscience by telling you to take off your mask and go cough on your fucking neighbor. That Tucker Carlson knows everything and Laura Ingraham isn't a racist cunt. That's not the truth. The truth of the matter is everybody's reporting shit to you because they need to get paid. And I'm not knocking the progressive media community. I'm not talking down to and or negatively about TYT, Vice. The list goes on. But what I'm saying to them, where are the broadcasts of the communities that are running ragged, lacing up masks for the hospitals in their areas? Where are the individuals organizing what is now being called crime, but it's not organized crime? People jacking food trucks to feed their families all over the country. Being labeled organized crime when your commander-in-chief at the worst possible time in American history cut every single social safety net going to line his motherfucking donors' pockets. This isn't organized crime. This is desperation. These are people that are being reported across the spectrum in every area going that were trying to do the honest way, but were fucked. My company I work for, America, has laid off a quarter million Americans because of the lack of consumerism. Not because they got greedy or started this, that. No, it's because there's no consumerism. The consumer economy in this day and age, right now, is down by 30% because of a fascist gangster in the executive seat. So I wanted to come on tonight to let every single American know. You're being fucked. You're being bamboozled. You are being ass raped by institutionalized right-wing mainstream media. What's going on out here is nothing but truth. We got jobs out here. We have state-funded health insurance. And what they're not reporting, guys, at the progressive community, I would wish you would report this as a positive thing. None of us out here are bitching. You never hear nothing about Massachusetts because Massachusetts is a conscious level in which nobody is being spoken to about our conscious level. Our conscious level is safe. Because we don't have Trump supporters running the show. So to all American citizens that have Republican-run states and you are starving and they're ripping you out of your homes, start organizing. Doing whatever it takes. And if they come knocking on your door trying to arrest you, it may take sitting in the camp for a couple weeks. Because there's a lot of court systems right now, small court systems I'm speaking of, in which are starting to say, yo, this guy's going to walk because he's hungry. This guy's going to walk because his kids aren't eating. This guy's going to walk because he forged health insurance paperwork because he needed a fucking doctor. If you got to do whatever it takes to save your community or save your state, do what you got to do. Because us out here pretty soon, because we have a fascist executive gangster. No, I'm sorry. I don't want to use the word gangster because gangster is my kids don't have health insurance. My kids aren't eating. My kids are going to be homeless. Time to organize. Crack some heads to put food on the table, whatever it takes, but do it respectfully. Do it by your family. I say this, America, because it's getting that bad. There are states across this country that are burning their homes down. There are states across this country that are putting up metal bars and shooting at constables because they have no place to go. States that know about the hotel law, if a natural or medical, clinical sickness or disaster, or a disaster of sickness, a public health emergency, this country, by law and by form and principle of the United States Constitution, is to establish emergency housing for homeless families. But that's too much. But then you lock up Joe Schmo because he decided to open up rooms illegally for cash payments. Motherfuckers. So, to seal off this video, if you don't understand what I'm talking about, step outside your bubble. Put the fucking phone down. Take a walk in your community. America, you are blinded and you are numb because that's what they're accomplishing in Washington. You have no idea what is coming. And what is coming is fascism, greed, genocide, murder. Because right now, America, your president is saying they're over-exaggerating the numbers, and they're not. They're lying for ratings and this, they're not. Institutionalized media is telling you to walk out of your home, everything is fine. In America, nothing is fine. The only reason why you're getting the impression that this country is okay is because that's the objective and mission. To make millions. Follow the federal objectives in Washington. The working class and low income are useless, begging, peasant cocksuckers. And that's what it is. Because that's who they are. So if any of you feel that this video is wrong, you're in a bubble. And you're in a bubble of safety. And you don't want to look out your window and say, fuck. If I had just looked into my presidential candidate, we would not be in the situations what the Trump supporting community should be admitting and saying. Because you fucked up. You have cost this country 145,000 innocent individuals. Plus the 60, 70 million Americans that are unemployed indefinitely, with the 30% of the consumer corporate conglomerate economy up and leaving to the UK, to any other country in which is logical thinkers, rational people, because that's what the fucking deal is. Russia, China, Korea, all across the spectrum. It's not because they're communists or criminals or whatever the case may be. It's because they're smart and they utilize their medical professionals. That's the truth. You can say what you want about Korea, you can say what you want about Japan and China, but them motherfuckers got that shit done. They're up and they're doing what they have to do, and they cut trade to America because America, where's your fucking balls to march on Washington for humankind? America, The reason why Dr. Fauci is not going away is because this is the beginning stages in this country of human extinction. We're up to 40% of the country sick, 27% of the country dead. And I'll round it to 30% because there's over 250,000 Americans, plus probably 250,000 Americans that have not been counted for. That's the shit you need to hear. So to end the video, America, because I took up 10 minutes of your precious time, and I understand that time is valuable, turn the fucking phones off. I'm going to get out of my car now because you can't see me. Take into consideration that if we do not start utilizing our technology the way we should and start talking to our fellow citizens and getting out of our bubbles, we're all going to possibly watch 50% of this country dead, buried, and gone by 2021. Everybody have a safe evening. Peace and love out in Dirt on Knowledge.